Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Eric for President, and you know the drill. Your one-stop shop for 5 VR stories you missed over the past couple of days. But first, a few shout-outs to some awesome members of the VR community doing awesome stuff. Now, I've spoken with the developer of RD's Adventure Mini Golf, and I think his mini golf park game deserves some attention. Hyperdash Alpha 2 is free and live for the Oculus Quest. Go play this game. It's better than many full releases, seriously. And finally, the drugs of the future will be computers. The computers of the future will be drugs. Check out SoundSelf. Links for everything there will be in the description, and every story timestamp in this video will be down in the pinned comment. Of course, we're giving away an Oculus Quest headset this video, so stay tuned for that. There will be many more this year, hopefully one every month, and we have some like-minded people who want VR to get to everyone as possible, so we may have some sponsors to give away even more. Very excited about that. With that being said, please leave a like to support this video, share it with a friend, that way the channel can grow, and let's get into the VR news. Let's start off with something that I touched about in a couple videos back, a tweet by Ben Lang about what makes a VR game fun. He said it was movement, heavy movement like Pistol Whip. I disagreed, and I did bring up some perennial favorites, things like Boneworks, things like Gorn, Blade and Sorcery, something they all have in common. And in a recent article by David J at Upload VR, he gets a little more into it, and I'm very curious to hear what you thought about it as well. In David J's article, there is a litany of info behind why Boneworks set out to do exactly what they set out to do. They were redefining the way that we interact with virtual objects in the digital space. And while not a direct quote from David, and I'm gonna put words exactly in his mouth, my takeaway is that interaction is what makes VR games fun, or better for that matter. Basically, virtual reality is good when the virtual world convinces you that it's real. That's a real hot take there, right? So yeah, last time we got on this topic, it was very fun to read everyone's comments about what made games fun to you. What do you think about David J in this article? Is real life mimicry almost what makes VR games fun? Personally, the more my real life body feels naturally constrained, and yes, constrained, to say almost mimic my in-game avatar, I find it leading to much longer and enjoyable play sessions. Holding something heavy in Boneworks makes me move my entire real life body differently to account for the virtual weight and realness of, say, a sledgehammer. When a game naturally makes me go into a state of, say, virtual role-playing while being immersive, well, that's when virtual reality becomes much more reality. But those are just my thoughts. It's always a very interesting topic every time I can bring up what makes a VR game fun, but let me know what you think. Moving on, in a very surprise article to me, Amazon is absolutely flexing on Google Stadia and adding to the speculation unit of the VR world about adding single-digit latency to cloud gaming and cloud streaming, and I can just see across the board positives and minuses and just people going nuts. But let's talk about it. Real quickly, let's get a couple important negatives out the way, and no, this will not be a Stadia versus Amazon cloud gaming comparison, and I think it would be an absolute mistake to bring up Stadia's current performance and use that as any indication cloud gaming isn't the future, because it is. Also, I completely understand the hesitations of cloud gaming between the inability of 5G and reliable internet connections worldwide, and how current gamers and current users have invested so much in their setups that they could feel, in my opinion, very wrongly hurt by this. It just may not be at any time soon, but cloud gaming is a likely at some point future, and could drive down the #1 barrier to VR, that being the cost. What we're really here to discuss is Amazon's announcement of the Wavelength platform as part of the Amazon Web Services. This edge computing promises single-digit millisecond latency over 5G networks, and Amazon has specifically stated that this latency is for sensitive workloads like AR and VR streaming. But I initially am very excited for the possibility to bring viable cloud gaming to VR, because as in the mission of this channel, getting VR out there to as many people as possible, cloud gaming can replace expensive PCs, headsets, and more, leading to a more accessible VR world. But that's where I pass this kind of off to you. Let me know your thoughts about Amazon's cloud services, because in reality, latency is the most important issue to VR, in my opinion. It can make someone very sick very quickly, and I've seen reports that the average latency that's acceptable for VR streaming is about 20 milliseconds. So when I look at single digits and say single digits is 9 milliseconds, is that enough of a difference? Do we basically need this to get down to zero latency where the cloud streaming for VR can be accessible to everyone? I don't know, it's just a thought. But just like everyone else in the world, I'm very excited when I see things like this, whether they're gonna happen now or way in the future, because this is probably an announcement to get stocks up and investors very excited, but I pass that off to you. I'm digressing at this point. Let me know what you think. Now, before the Amazon announcement, there was another article that came out that I thought kind of went under the rug very quickly. It wasn't talked about, but it has a lot of potential to make the Oculus Quest a lot better, which is important because in my honest opinion, I don't think a second round Oculus Quest is coming for a long time. So let's make the most of what we got with this announcement. So Oculus Quest graphics, they are what they are. They are nowhere near as bad as the vocal minority complain about, and they are nowhere as perfect as some fanboys and fangirls try to persuade some people they are. And I'm not throwing shade. We are all connected to our VR gadgets and just want to see VR succeed as an industry, so we build up emotions around the products that we love. It is undeniable though that the Oculus Quest using the Snapdragon 835 is underpowered using older tech, and those who have say played Robo Recall on PC VR and then later on the Quest, you cannot mistake the difference in graphical fidelity between them. And that's why it was a little surprising that I didn't see more about Unity now supporting Vulkan on the Oculus Quest. Vulkan is designed to properly take advantage of multi-core CPUs, in which the Oculus Quest has 4 of them, 3 of which are used for gaming. Vulkan's lower level access to the hardware means there is less driver overhead for draw calls, which means the more draw calls can be used in each frame and use less CPU power and energy. This could allow developers to work with the Snapdragon processor more and do things like increase draw distance, help with battery life, more details and textures in-game, and really overall just make the games better. Basically, we get more juice to squeeze out of the Oculus Quest. So yeah, what do you think about the Vulkan now being supported in Unity for the Oculus Quest? Does it help your image of the Oculus Quest? Do you think it makes the Oculus Quest last longer? Let me know your thoughts. I will say this though, Vulkan support in Unity and for the Oculus Quest, it's not a silver bullet. This is not going to make games come out that are just 10 times as better. We're talking probably 10 to 20% better, but it is still very difficult and time consuming for developers to get everything out of the Snapdragon 835. Developers are gonna have to weigh the pros and cons of how much time and money they want to invest in their games, but I wholeheartedly believe that developers that want to push the VR medium forward, that want to be named developer households in the VR community and keep driving sales and becoming better and better, they will most likely start working on this, but it's going to come down to the developers. It's going to be slow, but it's a good thing. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Now, before we get into the headset giveaway, there is an important topic that I was debating whether to cover or not, but I think it's important. It deals with numbers, news, and how you should interpret those and how you should act on them due to something that happened with Superdata. Recently, Superdata released a report all about VR, including headset sales for the last quarter of 2019. What blew up on social media were many things, with most notably to many the Valve Index selling 103,000 units in 3 months, a whopping $103 million if they were all the full bundle. Also notably, a much more expensive headset, the Valve Index, beat out the much more cost-effective $400 package of the Oculus Rift S. But here's the problem though, Superdata has and is probably wrong again. Let's paint the picture of what happened once Superdata went live. You have Palmer Luckey going off on Superdata inaccuracies, you have Valve's own hardware survey showing Rift S growth way more than the index in December, showing a much different picture. This kind of possible misinfo leads to articles like these that use Superdata as a source for an article. Now, articles can still be right by chance, but basically here we have an entire article making assumptions with inaccurate info. So why exactly am I bringing up this article? Why am I preaching that you need to be wary of info? Go watch other YouTubers, go watch other videos than just myself, and go read other articles. I am just as biased and can be wrong as everyone else. So please watch my videos, please do. Please share them and like this video, subscribe, please do it all. But then go watch someone else's on a similar topic. Read sources, figure out where people are getting their info from, and make your own judgment calls on it. Don't take anything at face value. Go look at other sources. Journalism 101. I love y'all. That's the point of this story. Let me know what you think down in the comments. It is time to talk about the next headset giveaway. And at this point, I'm a broken record. But before I give out the winner's name, let's say this. I love my wife. I love my life. VR, though, is my escape from reality that sometimes I really need because I don't have a lot of outlets that let me get out what I want to get out in VR. I feel myself in VR. And that's why the mission of this channel is to get VR to as many people as possible, because it just can give everyone the outlet they need, the escapism, or no matter if your life is great or poor, or in any way, it's just a reality other than your reality with endless possibilities and that alone can lead to some of the most amazing moments in your life. And I've had some amazing moments, and I hope to keep having these in VR and keep sharing them with you, and that's why I want to keep giving away headsets. Thank you for all you've done for me. It's the least I can do to give back to you all. With that being said, congratulations, Jason Krasinski. You are the winner of this Oculus Quest headset. Here are the rules for you to claim it, and for anyone else listening, you may be able to still snag this one. Reach out to me on Twitter, Discord. There's an email in my description on my channel. Any other way you can reach me, just find me. It's pretty easy, I'm pretty responsive, and let me know it's you. I'll ask you a few questions that I have planned, that way I can verify it's you, and it's yours. If Jason does not get back to me by the time my next video launches, we'll pick a new winner. So those are the rules. But with that being said, guys, thank you for just everything you've done for me on this channel. Honestly, you guys you make my day, so thank you all for that. Please leave a like to support this video. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to never miss an upload. It's the only way you'll know I'm making a video, to hit that bell. Also, join the spaceship on Patreon. Everything in there is just reinvested back to the channel. It makes it a lot easier for me to keep giving away stuff. And with that being said, guys, I'm looking forward to the next video, and I'll see you on that one, VR Space Cowboys.